Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Pastor Ikonah, and I'm here to give you a few words. I don't have a letter to talk to you about right now. I might do that in a couple of days, but right now I have to clear up something because I really thought Trump was going to have another party. When I heard it, I kind of was happy. But then after thinking about what he said when he was at the CPAC, it's really an American conservative, what do you call it? I thought I had written all of it down. But anyway, it's a union. So a workers' union, that's all. And so I just was listening to them and listening to him talking and everything. And I found out that there's not going to be a Patriot Party. There's not going to be any other type of party other than the Republican Party, even though he has 75%, following him. Even most of the Democrats have switched over to him also because they found all the lies and everything. And then I found a greater lie. They're still after him. Let me see if I can recap this a little bit. Okay. They were talking about the fake news and all that kind of stuff. But they said it wasn't any fake news, that he did not, have anybody coming against them. And this was even up till after the Senate hearing, that relieved him of all that junk, So let me see. They're still talking about the people that came on the Capitol and said they were people that were on Trump's side. And he was the one that was behind it. And he was the one that had the people to come out, even though they know that they spliced the information to try to make it look like he was saying what he wasn't saying. I mean, and even someone was sitting at their computer, trying to engorge himself or ingratiate himself with New York Times so that he can get some, airtime, I guess, not airtime, but, newspaper time. And, he had no business, doing that. And they caught him. I wonder if he keep his job. Anybody else at another job that did something like that, they would have to go. They just don't just keep people around like that, just blatantly lie. So all of those Democrats that were lying about him need to be fired. I don't know the process for that. I don't know if they get to serve out their time or whatever, but they need to be let go. And I know that there's something in their articles that allow them to get rid of people that never should have been elected in the first place. So what I wanted to say, I'm sorry for giving you wrong information because the information that was put out there looked so credible, and it wasn't. He's not going to, have another party. He's going to keep the, Republican Party and just repair it, And all of those people that, switch back and forth, away from him and everything, they need to go. Wherever. I don't care where they go. But anyway, we don't need people like that in our offices in Washington. We just don't need those type of people. We don't. And I'm quite sure some other heads are going to roll too before this is all over with. So I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. God moves in mysterious ways. Nobody would have known if they hadn't been close to God and didn't hear his voice and hear what he said about the situation. We wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have known. Thank God that we're close to God and we know. We knew that was wrong during there. And God was just, taking his time to let it fester so that everything would come out. I love that. I love it about him. He lets everything come out that you thought that would be against you forever, and that you couldn't pull out from under it. It's just like having dirt thrown on you. It's like that story they tell about the, I think it was a mule or a donkey, I forget. But he was I don't know if he was hurt or what. I don't know why they threw him in the hole, but they just threw him in a well, I think it was. And he was there, but they kept pouring trash in on him, And every time they poured trash in on him, where he just, stomped on it, shook it off, stomped on it, and went higher. And so they kept doing that and kept doing that, thinking that they would cover him up, but he never got covered up. He just walked out. It's so funny. But anyway, so that's the way I think about Trump. They just kept throwing dirt on him. But God just showed all of them up. I mean, he just showed them all up. And I am so happy. I'm happy to see that, So they were saying that the people that came at the White House were far-right extremists. And they were white, what do you call it? White supporters? I forget. They were supporters of Trump, but there's a name for this, white supremacists. That's what it was. And really, whoever paid for these people to come out and put those masks on their face and play like they were something that they weren't what they're saying they were, If they were that, well, it wasn't for Trump, So it's really a travesty what they did, and the people that were behind it were supposed to be intelligent. They were supposed to be intelligent people in the Senate. I mean, you thought, well, I thought that most of the people had degrees and, just were lawyers. But even if you have a degree, you should be intelligent to a certain degree. It'll help you. But if you're just not intelligent, if you're just like one of those 100 type persons, and you land up in a job like that, I guess you just 100. I'm talking about your IQ. Okay. Most presidents' IQ around 120 something. Most. I think there was another one, only one that was like about a 30 or something like that. But Trump is 156. His is higher than mine. I'm not too far behind him. And, I mean, people are not used to having people like that around. And when you get jobs and you have a high IQ and you know how to do things and you just, it's like you're a fish in water, people don't like that, and to be a billionaire at that too and don't have to ask nobody for money to run for our office, he was just showing them out, and then he knew that Joe Biden wasn't very smart before he even got up there and ran after him, I'm quite sure. He probably knew that. And if he didn't, somebody found it out anyway, knew it. But most people should know it just listening to him, But not everybody does, That's why they were, voting for him. That's why they showed all them long lines of black folks, that didn't look like they had too much together up there, That's why they did that. But if you notice, most black men voted for Trump. They saw through the facade, of what's going on. But some people, I think, probably voted for Biden because, somebody set them up with that COVID. And everybody that was around Trump got sick. I think it was a setup. Let's just put it on their spoons and on their plates. And then when they eat, they just, that's what I think. But anyway, they said, no, and nobody ever said anything about it. I said, I wonder why they didn't say nothing about it, because it was like a known thing. People knew. Or what? Why? Why didn't say nothing? Everybody around him got sick. But I don't know. I guess everybody got back together again because they got, doctors and stuff there in the White House, And so I guess they were able to treat them real quick. So, and they had the best treatment, So, this is the United States of America, and we're not as pristine as we feel we are, and we don't have it all together, not even halfway, So there's still a lot of reprobation. Anyway, I think the black folks are owed some of the money, or all of the money that they should have gotten from being a slave for 400 years. Everybody else got paid. you know, so I don't know. It's not, indentured servants got paid. Okay. They were indentured servants because they had to pay off something, right? But if they had to stay, well, then they had to get paid. So that's the reason why they didn't want the indentured servants. So the black folks didn't have that choice. They brought us over here, and the Africans sold us to them. Most black people don't even know that the Africans sold us to the slave ships. And they said, how could that be? You're African too. Yeah, we were living in Africa right there by the what is it? Sahara Desert at the bottom part of it, And there's a lot of reasons why we were there too, coming from Europe and also coming from Jerusalem, because the Romans were coming against us, and we were trying to find a place to hide. But the ones that went down into Africa, they ended up going on the slave ships too, because they still caught most of them, and put them on the slave ship. So we didn't have anywhere to go. It was because God was punishing us for our ways. Yeah, God was punishing us. And when God said he's going to whip you, you're going to be whipped. I don't care how fast you run or how far you run. Because even some of them went all the way over to the water, over to the Atlantic coast lines. And that's where the ships were picking them up, And so very few of us were able to stay away from these people that were hunting us down, And, people like the Nigerians, the Cameroonians, and the Kenyans, and several others, many others really, but I can see them, but I can't say the name. But anyway, there's just a lot of people. I don't know why. I guess there had to be somebody left, but I guess he got the ones that he needed to get. That needed to be whipped. But some of them that were on the ships got thrown overboard because the food got low. And then after getting to where we were going, the families were separated because they were sold going this way and that way, whoever would buy them. They weren't concerned about whether that's your wife you standing next to or your son or whatever. They just sold us, So we never did get back together. And that's one of our biggest problems today with black folks, because we come from, I don't know, it's, when we were in Jerusalem, we were together. When we were in the other countries, like coming to Africa, we were together. When we went to, we were up north in the Anglo-European areas, we were together. But when we got here to America, the slave owners divided us by not taking the family unit. And what the heck would they care about the family unit? We were there to be a slave, And so even when they got married in the on the plantations and they had children, they still sent us off in different places. So now you got a wife there by herself trying to raise kids sometimes, and no husband, and she has to be the man and the woman, and look like we still like that now. The men just take off and just forget about us, and we have to raise the kids, in the best way we know how. Some of us did pretty well, some of us didn't, So that wasn't God's way for us, but 400 years of slavery is gone, and we have people that are still doing the same thing. So hopefully this will let them know, time to wake up. You have a family. Some of them trying to have families on the north, east, south, and west. Instead of putting all their energies into their family, they're going all over the place, having babies and stuff. That is not God's way. I hope he doesn't have to whip us again, because this was a hard one for us for 400 years. Some people got killed, some people got raped over and over repeatedly. That's why I was talking about the people that were in the house, the slave owner's house, the ones that made the food and served the food and yes, a master and all that, and they were the ones that got raped the most. So their kids came out light skinned, and I guess that was more appealing to the slave owner. But I'd rather be in the field, and well, I would rather be in the field, but I mean, it would have been better to be in the field that when it came to rape, because very seldom did they come down to our houses to rape us, but it happened, So anyway, I guess that's all I had to say. I just want to clear the waters of the Patriot Party thing. It was a Democrat doing that. And also the thing about trying to figure out, there were two other names they used too, and I couldn't find that video again. But I could find it, but if I just took more time. But there were two other names that didn't make any sense. It was something that related back to what happened at the courthouse, yeah. And I can't remember what it was, and I don't even think I wrote it down. I'm going to start writing stuff down when I look at these exposés and everything. I just got to do it because, I need to remember the names and things and the events and the dates and all that, So that's all I have for today, for right now anyway. Okay? And I hope you understand and forgive me if I misled you in any kind of way, There's so much that going on. I can't believe they're still doing it, but they are. So you got to be very careful, And like I said before, Trump needs to be very careful too, because they are after him. They're going to do everything they can to pull him down, and so he needs to be careful. And I hope he has very good bodyguards too, because it's the season for it right now. So that's that. Okay. I feel like a cloud is lifted from over me, because I've been worried about this. I'm going to tell them. I'm just going to say it. That this is what happened. So, well, now you know. Now I can sleep better. Okay. I don't want to ever mislead anybody again. This is a really true learning experience for me about how people are. They don't care about who they're hurting. They just want to hurt the person they want to hurt. And you're just collateral damage. Okay? All right. God bless you. I'll probably write something about maybe a couple of days. I have something that's on my heart to give from one of my stories in my book. And it's something that God wanted me to speak on. But I'm not going to do it here. Okay? Because I'm a little tired. And I've been running all day. So God bless you. And I'll see you soon.